Every sweetness begins its journey under the rising sun. Precision starts at the very first cut. Harvest becomes movement. Raw energy travels long before it becomes flavor. Creamy depth begins with steady rhythm. Temperature becomes the first guardian of quality. Bitterness and sweetness are born together. Flavor matures in quiet heat. Crunch begins with controlled force. Even rough harvest demands early order.
A single aroma can define a season. Time concentrates fragrance.
Richness is mechanically revealed. Deep sweetness moves in slow rivers. Many origins converge into one purpose. Preparation becomes commitment. The factory now calls the harvest forward. Distance turns harvest into industry. Every route now narrows toward precision.
Control begins before a single machine runs.
Every load is counted before it is touched. Mass becomes data. Numbers decide the flow of production.
Permission grants motion.
Industry breathe through organized pathways. Arrival completes the first journey. Stillness signals the moment of transfer. Safety locks the rhythm in place. The harvest meets the factory air. Machines become the hands of scale. Weight converts into movement. Flow enters the bloodstream of production. Outside becomes inside.
Different origins now move as one system.
All roads inside now merge into one. Entry is granted only by movement itself. Human signal guides mechanical transfer. The factory breathes its first intake. Outside light fades as industrial light takes command. Scale is the first language of production.
Human presence activates the system.
Cleanliness becomes the first processing rule. The scale of sweetness reveals itself. Granules become gravity. Dark flavor enters its mechanical path. Texture begins with controlled distribution. Liquid enters the constant flow.
Balance is commanded by signal.
The factory heart starts its pulse. Raw inputs rise toward transformation. Descent initiates conversion. Force shapes the unseen. Raw becomes ready for refinement. Before shaping, purity must be secured. Even invisible weight is removed. Gravity chooses what remains. Steel itself guards the sweetness. Human hands complete mechanical vigilance. Size becomes the first measured identity. Uniformity is a narrow path. Light decides what the eye cannot. Perfection is shaped by exclusion. Weight becomes the final proof of quality. Even sweetness must be washed. Moisture is mechanically erased.
Dark flavors emerge cleaner.
Texture is refined by friction.
The human eye still rules the line.
Water content decides the chemistry ahead.
Purity reunites into purpose.
Now the real transformation can begin.
Heat signals the start of chemical change.
Energy wraps itself around the ingredients. Separate forms begin to dissolve into one. Cream enters the heart of heat.
structure surrenders to fusion. Depth of flavor enters in silence. Texture is carefully introduced.
Flavor obeys temperature.
Flow reveals readiness.
Air must leave before structure forms. Consistency is enforced through motion.
The scent of season is now released.
Sight confirms chemistry.
Uniformity is mechanically enforced.
Imperfection is pulled away by pressure.
Time completes the molecular bond. Release follows readiness.
Liquid sweetness now seeks its final shape.
Heat now guides the first shape. Evenness is the foundation of perfection.
Heat releases its grip.
Structure is pulled from softness. Texture locks into memory. Pressure completes the bond.
Cold begins to define firmness. Structure freezes at the molecular level.
Waste is removed to protect form.
Dimension becomes law.
Shine signals readiness. Stability replaces softness. Precision measures the final divide. Division approaches at full force. Festive detail is layered on top. Even error is automatically corrected. Disorder yields instantly to structure. Precision moves at mechanical pace. Shape is now permanent. Speed now replaces the human hand. Order replaces mass. One becomes many. Ocean listens and responds. Listens and responds. Distance is measured in milliseconds.
Uniformity is actively maintained.
Every gram is accounted for. Standards never pause. Flow multiplies without confusion. Efficiency is calculated in real time. Digital eyes replace inspection towers. Judgment now travels at light speed.
Separated paths return as one.
The factory thinks through code. Information becomes instantaneous control.
Output responds to demand.
Now precision takes over the surface. Surface temperature prepares the final skin.
The outer shell seals the core. Nothing valuable is wasted.
Stillness follows controlled motion.
Cold locks the final finish.
Decoration becomes structure.
Structure is frozen in place.
The human eye protects the final line.
Shine becomes the last promise of flavor. Dimension answers to light. Patience now protects precision.
Protection unspools at scale.
Product and protection finally meet.
Protection is verified at the smallest margin.
Air is used to test certainty. Integrity returns to motion.
Accuracy defines trust.
Structure is revealed by cross-section. Flexibility proves temperature discipline. Even randomness must obey structure.
Human senses still certify chemistry.
Data declares the batch complete.
Invisible safety is continuously checked.
Time briefly pauses for verification. Silence confirms purity.
Only the verified may pass. Verification returns to velocity. Every batch leaves a digital footprint.
Approval now becomes physical proof. Protection is locked at speed.
Time is permanently marked. Even ink must pass inspection. Singles prepare for unity.
Many hands move as one machine. Outer protection closes.
Mass finalizes the count. Retail scale becomes logistics. Nothing moves without restraint. Order rises in layers. Identity now belongs to every load. Scale now shifts to storage. Thousands wait in silent order.
Demand now pulls the product forward. Storage returns to motion.
The journey prepares to repeat. Finished goods become moving cargo.